Alrighty. Welcome back to Nickline, this comic corner, classic, known classic. This episode number 2306 and Doubleshot number 2200. Yes, the Doubleshot finally got 2200. This was discussing two Marvel trades. Of course, both of them were created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. This first one is a relaunch that happened last year, and it's Marvel's trend to basically, like, we have relaunch, we have a time skip, and everyone hates the heroes of the book. This happened with Amazing Spider-Man, this happened with Iron Man, and now it's Daredevil's turn. Also, Fantastic Four's turn. This also has happened with Black Panther as well. Yeah, what is with Marvel basically having the universe hate their primary heroes? I don't know why. We have Fantastic Four by Ryan North, Volume 1. Whatever happened to the Fantastic Four? This collects the first 6 issues of the relaunch of the book. Now you're probably thinking, wait, wasn't there a couple issues released between the Dan Slott's and this one? Yes, that's part of the Judgment Day stuff. That will discuss when they get hands on the Judgment Day Companion, which who knows when I'll get my hands on it. So, in the case of this particular book itself, pretty much we have a time skip where the Baxter building has been destroyed and everybody hates Fantastic Four because of stuff what happened in this book. Like, Reed and Sue, along with Ben and Alicia Masters, are out of town. Johnny Storm's still in town, but he's got a mustache now, working for basically a convenience store. Not convenience, but basically like a big, almost like a version of Walmart. Yeah, and like his boss is a complete, utter jerk. By the way, the artwork here is done by Iban Khalil, and he does the first 4 issues, and 5 through 6. And by the way, this is of the 6th volume, if I'm not mistaken. No, 7th volume. With Ivan Verlita on issues 5 through 6. The cover is done by Alex. This cover is Alex Ross. Supposed to get a new cover logo here. So, yeah. So basically, he's like reading newspaper, and then of course you have. Oh yeah. By the way, the whole thing with Alicia Masters and Ben Grimm, they're stuck in a time loop that lasts for a while, and like they're like in the past, and then eventually they get back to present day. Yeah. And what is responsible for this? Is it those two? No, not really. It's really this one guy who they beat up in there, and he's responsible for all of it. And turns out he died back in like December 7, 2006. Yep, and then they reveal, oh yeah, apparently they're driving a pickup truck with a roof off because Ben can't fit fully underneath. So yeah, then we show at the end of issue 1, the backstory is gone. And you're thinking, okay, doesn't that issue explain it? Well, not yet. Then we have something with Reed and Sue. Basically, then of course about a bunch of Doombots. Yes, Doombots. Yeah. Because, you know, Dr. Doom is in town. Issue 3 reveals what happened with Johnny Storm, where apparently he's working at a store. So, yeah. Because he dares to be late, he's demoted back to the ground floor. Yeah, then of course notices that, oh, one of the tanks basically going to be a failure, he heals it. And it turns out their boss is, like, really a jerk. So, they form a unit, like, nope, we're not doing you. And, of course, Johnny Storm fights him. Yep, fights him with Human Torch. And basically, like, where are the workers? They're in your files. Give me proof of the police. I don't know the police. Maybe the cops should be out eventually, but they're always good people who refuse to do anything with it. I've seen it enough times to have federal friends who really do care about something. Like, I'll kill you. I don't think you will, Morrow. I'll burn myself. If I consume it. And of course, leaves him behind. John Cena's mustache. And of course, we have reunion. We have basically stuff with Johnny Storm. We have reunion of Fantastic Four. So now I finally explain issue 4. What is responsible for the destruction of the building? So apparently a nihilist shows up with his forces to invade the area. And that's what caused destruction of the building. A nihilist. And here's a question. Where's Reed and Sue's kids? That's a good question. So all because apparently this whole destruction area, like, pretty much basically affected a big area, and a lot of people are not happy with this and stuff. So, yeah, they're basically forced to flee town because of it. And of course, they reunite, and of course, basically like, and of course, they reunite by the end of issue 4, and the next 2 issues they basically like, where then they take out a guy named Nicholas Starch of Salem 7. Yes, these are old characters from the 70s, so take them on for this issue here. And then something really stupid happens. After they basically have a little party and all this other stuff, typical Fantastic Four stuff. Issue 6 and stuff really stupid happens. Basically, they enjoy themselves at this lake. Yeah, but at the end of the issue, something really, really stupid happens. Yeah, they land, and then they're surrounded by federal agents, led by Maria Hill. Now you're thinking, what? Maria Hill's here? Wait, I thought she was on the run last time I saw Jessica Jones. Well, yeah, she's with a new agency. I'm not sure which one it is. Like, and like, yeah, and of course they want to arrest Susan Richards. It's like, the reason? They said, oh yeah, turns out walking mass extinction event, doctor. I'm not the only one concerned about that. Johnny Storm's rifle up said, like, only she never do that because she's not a psycho. She's the only person I trust with her powers. He's the guy. Yes. I'm looking for a certain private guns. Don't do it, Torch. Sue. Floor it. So yeah, basically Johnny and Sue flee from federal agents. You're thinking, what the heck is this? Why the heck is basically the federal government after Sue Storm? Why do they think that she's responsible for it? Like, I don't know. Why the heck would you blame the Fantastic Four for what happened at the Baxter building? Well, I don't know. How about blame a nihilist? They're the ones invaded. Nope. Yes, and you still receive the question mark when you finish this book up, like, where is Reed and Sue's kids? Where is Franklin and Valerie? Good question. We may find out in the future. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next up is something really weird for this one. We have Thor Volume 5, The Legacy of Thanos. Okay, what do I think is great way of this book? Well, first off, we have Thor Volume, I believe it's 6, issues 27-30, and Thanos Death Notes. The first 2 issues in here are surprisingly the last 2 issues done by Donny. He leaves the book with issue 28. And here's something really weird about this book. This also happened with Hulk for some reason. Here's the weird thing. You know how Marvel does this thing where, a writer leaves, gotta hit that restart button. Number 1, brand new number 1. Not this book, shockingly. This book in Hulk. This is probably the first time in over a decade this has happened. Why is that, you might ask? Because Marvel's doing this thing for years, where every time they change writers on a book, with the exception of Beyond stuff, that doesn't count here because they had like a set of writers for that one. We have the regular writer leave. The normal protocol for these books is to hit the restart button. It will level up Fantastic Four. That was basically come up bonus stuff later. But while the regular thing is ongoing, of course, that was probably planning to relaunch anyways. But this is shocking. This book lasts longer than it did. And if you're curious, how many more issues after Donny Coates left did this book last for? This book lasted for a shocking 7 issues without him as the writer. Yes, of course, he does issues 27-28 with Al Ewing, one of the writers of Venom, which, of course, basically it was just announced recently this book is going to be launched at, of course, they just launched issue 35 with the Immortal Hulk, Thor number 1 with Al Ewing as the writer. The replacement writer for this book is someone named Turin Golbuk, who actually is getting a new book soon. And you're thinking, which book is that? Yeah, by the way, this writer is a woman. Yep. Not the first book this person wrote. She also first wrote for Jane Foster Valkyrie. So, as a replacement for this book, she is doing not much. I think she got Realm of X. Yep, she got the Realm of X miniseries. And she's doing a few issues of Venom. Oh, okay, she does get a brand new ongoing series. She gets Carnage. Yep, she's a placement for Carnage. For reasons. So, in this two-parter for Thor, which has Donny writing Venom again, first time since he wrapped up his Venom run. Yeah, it's a two-part team story with Thor and Venom. Actually, more like King in Black and Thor. Because Eddie Brock is not Venom. Despite the cover says, yeah, Eddie Brock has not been Venom at this point. He's not Venom. Yeah, it's a great team up. I do appreciate it. It's a fantastic team up. Yep. And then, like, right after this storyline wraps up, and then we have Thanos' Death Notes, which is basically a multi-story one-shot. The opening story, Death by Rumor, is done by the writer who replaces, well, Donny in the book, with Andrea DeVito in the artwork. All the is by Crystal Chantwell with Cheryl Foreman in the artwork. JMS, yes, JMS. This is probably his first. I kind of forgot he did this book. He does Love and Death and Much Between with Jeff Shaw in the artwork. The Bar at the End of the Lane is by Carl Starks and art by Rob Lem. Yeah, and the place where he does issues 26, 29, and 30, and does remaining 5 issues afterwards with Nick Keene on the artwork. Thanos' Death Note. This is basically what the story led to right afterwards. Mostly put, you kind of think of this as the brief setup for their brief replacement writer for Thor before the relaunch. Because we're all dealing with Thanos here. Yep, that's the whole point of this. Basically, just deal with, it's all about Thanos, like there was backstory. Because I think Thanos was supposed to be dead, because he got killed off again in the Page of Eternals. And then we have this two-part of the legacy of Thanos, basically, because you have stuff that Thanos left behind. We have this woman who saves them from being accosted at a bar, and they proceed to make out. Like that. And then, of course, basically, turns out that the taller woman is a Valkyrie. Yep, she's been called to action. And the whole point of this book is that Thor's looking for his baby sister. Yep, so he's working with this Valkyrie who just got herself a girlfriend. And at the end of the issue, he runs into his grandfather, Bor. Which, yeah, when Thor last saw his grandfather was back in Thor 600. Yeah. And apparently it's all like Bor's holding Legacy of Thanos. And then we see Claro's glove. Yeah. Like the Black Order's here too, which is interesting to say at least. It's like, yeah, whatever Thanos left behind, again. So, we deal with that. And this is a pretty interesting book of what it is. We do have one book coming out, and it's coming out in just a couple months, which I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, this book, pretty good. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. I guess I can get my final thoughts now because this time on the book. I have heard a rumor of the reason why that he left the book, because apparently Donny suffered from some mental issues. So that's why he dropped this book in Hulk. Hulk was actually in the middle of a story arc, right, when he left. So he had the artist Ryan Ottley write and draw the rest of the book before he got relaunched under Phil Kelly Johnson as Incredible Hulk. I think Donny Cates had a great time in the book. I think probably, in my opinion, the weakest point of this book was probably its cross up with the Hulk book. It's like it felt more like basically Thor guest starring in a Hulk story. It's like Thor's reaction to all this. I'm like, okay. It felt okay at best, that crossover, but it's like we pass the crossover. It's like he does 2 more issues and he's like, I'm done. It's like he just had enough. I don't get it. I have not confirmed this, if in fact that was the reason why he left, but that is the rumor I've heard, the reason why he left. Maybe he wants to take a break. It is possible. In case you're curious, though, he said do any books future. Well, he did do one book afterward. He did co-write 1 issue of other Place Writers run, and that was it. Yeah, he did do Hulk for about a few more issues. Yeah, he did like 2 more issues of Thor of Hulk. He did Hulk 10 and 12. He didn't do 11. No, Brian Alley did it by himself. And then he came back for part 4. And then he left again before the book even finished up here. And the last 2 issues were done by Ryan Alley. Yeah, it's almost like, what the heck is Donny Cates even thinking? But maybe he just too busy with Substack. It could be the reason why. But yeah, that's a particular view. Stay tuned for later on with my reviews for Misfit Academy, discussing the final episode of Season 1 and on our Comic Corner, okay? Next video. Bye.